All right, we're here at Plaza Azteca, the Outer Banks. And hey, man, this is the spot where it happened, correct?
Yep. I had some Pacificos, and I got a little bubbly.
What does that mean?
My stomach was churning, and I walked outside and projectile vomited right next to this car here. And
Jim was loogieing over there.
Jim spat right here.
All right, well, let's reenact it real quick.
Right.
Brian will play the role of the girl having her quinceañera.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I'm just here having my quinceañera at Plaza Azteca. What is the man with no eyelids doing?
Real hello, friendos. Oh my god, what is the man with no eyelids doing? Blah. It's YouSchoode. It's been a minute. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We don't draw big crowds on YouSchoode, but that don't mean we don't try. We don't live on hope, though. I know some people live on hope. It's no way to live. Hit the like button. That would be mighty wide of you. Much appreciate everybody that hits the like button, shares, subscribes. I would assume you're already subscribed if you're here this early, but if not, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the notifications are turned on. I just got a, right before I came on, a cameo request for a 10-year-old girl who I'm reading about here, and apparently has been a fan since HFS. I don't know if she could have been a fan since HFS though, because that was more than 10 years ago. So I don't know. Also, apparently has listened to Making Toilet. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. Maybe some parental advice on the cameo. I do cameos, don't you know? It's actually cheaper. It's cheaper to book a cameo than it is to drop some of these super chats that you get in the room here. So keep that in mind. If you've got somebody that you really don't have a lot of affection for, and they have a birthday or an anniversary, or maybe you're cheating on them with an NFL head coach, and you need somebody to break the news. I can break the news. I break bad news better than everybody. Want to give a big verbal nod. We started a little early. I apologize for that. Maybe you're finishing up with your suppers. But I want to give a big verbal nod to this man. This man and this man only. Jason from CT. Jason from CT. I assume that means Connecticut. Not sure. But the reason why we're here tonight is this is always a bloodbath for my ego whenever I do a YouSchoode, because nobody, like, we do half the numbers we do for solid dudes, and then I'm, you know, I have to deal with the fact that I know that nobody wants just me. But Jason asked specifically for a breakdown of some cave diving videos, or cave diving video. Not sure. One, maybe plural. We'll see how much time we have. And not only that, he fucking came through with the big stunner. Came through with the big Venmo. Wanted to sponsor this episode of YouSchoode. So thank you, Jason. Thank you for being here. And everybody that's excited that I'm here tonight, all the dozen of you or so, make sure you thank Jason, because yes, I can be bought. I had shit I wanted to do tonight, and because Jason said over $100, I'm like, fuck, I can't turn that down. I just feel it's like, you know, he bought 3 or 4 cameos, you know? Kind of what we want to do with the Grease Man. Buy enough cameos from the Grease Man where he actually gives us an entire episode of the Grease Man Show. It's the Grease Man Show. I like to think I do a good Grease Man, but the problem is Loud Goat does such a fucking good Grease Man that it don't matter. Nobody cares. Yes, please thank Jason in the chat. Thank you. Put a 1 in the chat if you thank Jason and you think Drab T-shirt is gay. 1's in the chat for thanking Jason and Drab is gay, and knowing that's a piece, and the first time I see him, it's on site, I'm pulling that fucking thing right off his head. And there ain't nothing he can do to stop me. I don't care how much working out he's done. I know I've got the old man strength to pull that goddamn thing off Draft T-shirt's head. Look at this. We do accept super chats on YouSchoode, and we do get butt-sized for gifted membership.
I'm butt-sized.
You know Johnny Flakes Allville's butt-sized. You know the Shoodster is. Trey Jr. Co. with the 5 Chad Duke Show gifted memberships. Thank you, buddy. Of course, if you become a member of this YouTube channel, you can get the entire back catalog of everything, including like the 152 or 4 episodes of Solid Dudes. They're piling up. So if you get a gifted membership, make sure you thank Trey Jr. Co. and remind him that you think Drab is gay. Now let me ask you guys a question, seriously. Do you think I could just start selling Drab is gay shirts? Like if we turn the corner enough culturally where we realize everybody's just having fun, nobody really cares who you're fucking, you think I could get away with that? And could I get away with it and not have to split any of the proceeds with Lips Vendrell? Because I'm all about keeping all the money for myself. That's kind of where I'm at. I want to keep the money for myself. If I sold a Chad Duke Show Drab is Gay shirt, how would that be received? Would you wear it anywhere? I can't get anyone to wear shirts that just say that you enjoy pissing outside or that you enjoy short stories. You know? Trey Jr. Co. said he'd pick one up. Maybe we go Drab is 1. Is that 2 inside? Drab is WONE, and that way you could wear it to your family reunions, you could wear it to your bat mitzvahs, you could wear it to your bar mitzvahs. And you wouldn't have to worry about being expunged by all of your Abigail Spanburgers that are in your family. You love your hot dog solid dude. Laura, you're one of the proud and the few. I love the hot dog man. I think Bust T's killed it with the hot dog man design, but those shirts and those sweatshirts withered on the vine. And don't even get me started on the koozies. We took a goddamn bath on those. Anyway, not only will we be doing some cave diving videos tonight, I am prepared to talk about Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel, if you'd like to. I see a lot of my former contemporaries, a lot of people that I used to know and have on my show and do shows on the same station with. A lot of people ain't touching this thing with a 50-foot pole. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about it if you guys want. I also have carted up the Mole People of Las Vegas. If you'd like to visit the Mole People of Las Vegas, we can do that too. Additionally, I've got the train wreck and the bus wreck from The Fugitive. I found a walkthrough. The wreckage still exists. That was a practical shot, no special effects, where Harrison Ford jumps off the top of the fucking bus and rolls down the hill and Tommy Lee Jones starts chasing him. I found one of the weirdest dudes on the planet did a walkthrough, and he shows us his dirty, disgusting toes, and he doesn't know Harrison Ford's name. Still gets more views than I do on YouTube. This world don't make no sense, so we could do that. I also have ready to go the unboxing show with Chad Dukes. Send in a box to Brad Fuchs. It's gonna be a gas, but it ain't gonna last. So hit the like button, send a super chat, watch Bradley Fukerton unbox this and that. It's the unboxing show, and Ted dumped his girl on the phone. I got that ready to go too. It's not girthy. I think I only have 3 packages to open. But I want to remind you, if you ever want to be featured on the unboxing show, just send whatever you like. Please don't make it biological. Don't make me call the cops, please. Send it along to the show and just write C/O, the unboxing show, to Commonwealth Dry Goods, 10409 C Main Street, Fairfax, Virginia, 22030. And, you know, whenever I get enough, I'll come on here. Jason from CT gives me a fucking Hunsky, and we'll open the shit up right here in front of you. So that's the lineup for tonight. I don't know if we'll get to all of it, but we will get to some of it. Just depends on what you guys decide you want to do. And we do accept super chats because, goddamn it, time's money. Andrew Masters, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Happy Wednesday. Looking forward to watching some baseball with the solid dudes on Friday. I would also buy and wear a Drab is Gay shirt. I'm pretty sure that he's gay. And that's certainly not a pejorative. Don't make you a bad person. Andrew, I can't believe you're coming to the baseball game. Thank you so much. I've had so many people unnecessarily make excuses of why they're not coming out to the Hill City Howlers game this Friday. You don't have to. I realize not everybody can make it to Lynchburg. If you can't make it out, we can still be friends. But that's also that you're coming, sir. We will be on the club level, but I think you can come right up to the club level, and we'll be broadcasting live. But when we're done, I'll be down on the concourse. We're going to meet at Country Smoke at 3 o'clock. If you want to get down there early, I think game time's at 6. So, Andrew Bastards, if you'd like to meet us, it's going to be me and Biker Prawn and Tony Slices and Sweet Daddy James. Who else? I'm not sure who else is coming with. But, Neil from Grand Slam Barbecue. Sex Man going to be in the house, baby. Sex Man throwing out the first pitch. So meet us at Country Smoke at 3. Then I'm going to go get checked into the hotel, shit, shower, shave. Then head over to the stadium, do a show. Watch a baseball game. Watch the Howlers kick the shit out of the Fred Nats. What do you think? Very, very steamed. Andrew Master says, I'm stoked. My dad is driving up from North Carolina for the game, too. That's great, man. Make sure you say hi. Make sure we have a beer together. I assume you're going to eat many hot dogs indeed. Laura Reuter's here. Well, now we can start. If Laura Reuter's here, we can start. Thank you so much for the 5 Chad Duke Show gifted memberships. I believe that's 10. Who's keeping track? Does anybody in the chat want to keep track? You know Nino loves those gifted memberships, Laura.
I just want to say, I get butt-sized.
I need one of you to keep track. I think we're at 10. I can't sit here and do this. I mean, the deluge of super chats is going to stop me from being able to. Oh, boy. Thank you so much, Laura. You are a good egg, as always. Laura, am I going to see you at Atlantico Amigos? How many of you am I going to see at Atlantico Amigos? I want to hear from you right now. How many of you are coming out? I will hold it against you if you're not at Atlantico Amigos. It's the here it is. There it is. The kickoff of Fish Hat Summer. Coming up April 25th at Fair Winds Brewing. Hit the like button. It is free to get in. The return of the Pacifico Pals membership mugs. We only have 50 of them. Make sure you get one if you didn't get one last time. The audiobook release of Happy Trash Truck Day by Hot Man Ted. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Atlantico Amigos Mexican Lager. You know the guys do a fucking bang-up job at Fair Winds. They kill it. They absolutely kill it. Custom menu from Brian from Natural Red Catering. Special appearances left and right. Rob Spiewak will be in the building. I don't think Rob Spiewak has ever come out to one of my events. Josh Soroka in the building. Jim Jester live in person. Gonna be a fucking unbelievable. And of course, the IQ test of all IQ tests. We're gonna find out if Jim Jester is smarter than a solid dude, if Josh Soroka is smarter than a solid dude, and the elusive Joe Azer, if he is smarter than a solid dude. So if you want to miss that, you fucking miss that. But I can't do nothing for you. I can't do nothing for you if you want to miss that. Because that's gonna be one for the ages. I think they open up at, when they open up? Noon? I think they open up at noon. And then the back opens up, and then you can get all your stuff. You can get all the delicious barbecue. And then I think we're going to do the show at 2. I believe that is the schedule. So I'm hoping you guys don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. This is the Super Bowl of the Chad Duke Show. This is the Super Bowl of Pacifico Pals. This is a kickoff of Fish Hat Summer. Kickoff of Atlantico Amigos season. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a gas, but it ain't going to last. So make plans. I'm following up with Charlie Bruce tomorrow. See if there's any of those hotel rooms that he blocks off at the what have you. Trey Jr. says he'll be there on 425 as well. Need another mug and a book and stuff. Wait, is that Rob with 2 B's? ROBBAY. Just one more piece of pizza first. That's him. Him and Josh, I want them to do their movie podcast so I don't have to do a live show and I can just get fucking drunk. I can just get banged up. Kirk Partika says he'll be there. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. All right, so what do you want to talk about? What do you want to do first? Do you want to do cave diving? You want to talk about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini? You want to talk about the mole people? You want to get into the fugitive train wreck? Or do you want to do the unboxing show? What do you want to start with? Leave it up to you. Drop it in the chat. This is all courtesy of Jason from Connecticut. So, Jason, actually, if you're in the chat, you decide what you want to start with. I'll listen to public discourse, of course. Discourse, of course. A horse is a course, discourse is of course. And you put peanut butter on the horse's gums to make him talk. They put peanut butter on Mr. Ed's gums, right? There was that horrible rumor that there was barbed wire, I think. They put barbed wire in the gums, which is bleh. I'm hoping it was peanut butter. Parlay Pope says caves. Lori Wagner says Jason should choose. Jason, are you around? You some of my bitch? A lot of support for cave diving. Yeah, I found a video on cave diving that starts off with just, I mean, I don't know how many of you were there when I brought up the North Carolina Shipwreck Project. They're scuba divers, and they dive down to shipwrecks. This is a noble thing they're doing. This is something to be admired. I don't know why I have so much contempt for cave divers. Maybe it's because it seems so masturbatory. It does not seem like they're accomplishing anything other than putting their lives at risk and the lives of others at risks. So I don't want to offend anybody. And certainly if you scuba dive, I don't wish any ill will on you. I wish nothing but the best for you. But please scuba dive down to see some tarpon. Tarpon! Go see some gaming fish, huh? Some blues, some tommycots, something. Don't go down to a murky fucking cave to die crammed underneath a fucking underwater river that miles of fucking death and carnage. Oh, all that with a side of dirty drinking water. I'm not sure. I paid for cave diving. Okay. Well, then we'll do cave diving first. Let's start with what? Let's ride the horse that fucking brought us to the tavern, huh? All right. So this is a 3-parter. It's got everything you want. There's death, destruction. There's people that get rescued. There's people that don't get rescued. And then there's what we always say is that these people, they seem to be retarded. Like they don't seem to value their lives. And the first example, God rest their soul, very difficult for me to feel sorry for these guys. It really is. And I do on a human level just because it's such an awful way to die. And I'm sure they have loved ones and I'm sure they have people that care about them. But God damn, I found a good one to start with since we haven't done this in a while. We'll flex the muscles and see if we can get back into the swing of things. It has been a minute, but boo bam. Let's go ahead and give a verbal nod to Scary Interesting. If you like videos about people dying in horrible ways and haunted houses and cave diving and all that shit, this is the site for you. And the title of this video is They Should Have Stayed Out of This Deadly Cave, which is interesting because I think by my count there's 3 deadly caves in this one video. All right. Big verbal nod to Jason from CT for bringing us all here today. We do accept super chats if you would like to contribute to the show. Much appreciate everybody that does decide to super chat. We don't need to do like solid dudes. I know the heavy hitters go in there and blow everybody out immediately. $2 super chats are fine. I don't give a fuck. It all goes to the same coffers. Thank you very much to everybody that's being generous. Look at this, man. You've done enough, Jason. You've done enough. Jason from CT. 5 gifted memberships. Who's keeping track? Who's keeping track tonight? Rooster Cogburn, I'm putting you in charge. That's 15. That's 15 gifted memberships. Of course, we have a goal of 250 gifted members. Thank you, Jason. You are... Oh, look at this. Okay, if Trey Jr. Co. is going to keep track, that's fine with me, too. But if you're going to give gifted memberships, boy, I'm going to give you the tomato.
Tomato.
Enjoy. I believe they are fruit. They are not vegetables.
On April 14th, 1990, two friends stood at the edge of a beautiful green-blue pond known as Troy Springs.
Hey, I just noticed that. Look in the upper left-hand corner. No AI-generated content used. It's kind of a bonus, right? I'm not, I don't treat AI with the revulsion that a lot of people do, but hey, I appreciate the effort, brother. Well done. No AI-generated content. That deserves a like. I will give this video a like for that.
In Florida. They didn't know it yet, but shortly after suiting up and swimming down to the cave at the bottom, something would go horrifyingly wrong. This is their story.
I can't believe it.
A couple of other horrifying cave stories. As always, viewer discretion is strongly advised.
You guys aren't going to believe it, but these cave divers, they go down into this murky, fucking dirty Florida underwater cave and something terrible happens to them. It's probably the first time. Halloween spooks outside my window. Halloween spooks.
In the cave diving world, Florida might be best known for its numerous sinkholes, but the state is also home to more freshwater springs than anywhere else in the world. There are more than 700 springs in Florida, and some are considered really special because of their designation as first magnitude springs. To make it into this category, a spring has to discharge at least 64 million gallons of water a day, and only a handful of those 700 do. One of these is Troy Spring, located in Florida's Lafayette County.
Drab used to look at Troy's penis all day. You guys remember that? He would look at Troy's penis, and then he would put a collar. Did he put the collar on Troy that ate through the fucking skin? Drab's a terrible dog owner. We all agree to that, right? Should not own dogs.
And Troy Spring not only surpasses that, but it also crushes the mark at 96 million gallons a day. The spring is part of the Floridian aquifer system and connects to several different bodies of water. All of these connections help to distribute water throughout the system, which includes a 325-foot or 99-meter cave-like run. This run is essentially an underwater tunnel where water rushes out from the aquifer with enough force to make it feel like swimming against a fire hose.
Anybody want to place bets on if someone dies down there in that underwater river? Does anybody want to bet against somebody dying in that underwater river down there? Oof.
The run is also located about 70 feet beneath the surface, and because of the current, many of even the world's most experienced cave divers have kept Troy Spring off their to-dive list. In fact, it's so rarely visited that most of the system isn't even mapped. On April 14th, 1990, diving Troy Spring was very much on the list of things to do for teenage cousins Clarence and Richard. The two young men had been lifelong best friends in addition to their relation to one another, and they'd spend much of their time together either fishing or hunting. It's unclear where they got...
Aren't those like... I hate to get on this kick early, but fishing and hunting's pretty exciting, right? You're on the water, you're in the woods, there's guns, there's knives, there's bows and arrows, there's things with teeth, bears, rhinos. You know what I mean? Like, that's not enough. It's not enough just to... And you're fishing and hunting in Florida. There's all kinds of things that can kill you. They got pythons, there's big spiders, there's bugs, venomous creatures of all sorts. I don't know, man. And also, if they're teenagers, like, are we talking 19 or are we talking 16? Because where are the parents, regardless?
The idea to dive Troy Spring, but it was a plan they didn't try to keep secret. Anyone they told, however, warned them it was a terrible and extremely dangerous idea.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the desperate pleading of friends and family members wasn't enough to stop them, though. That Saturday morning, the cousins drove to Troy Spring with whatever dive gear they had available to them. After suiting up with one air tank each, they entered the spring at around 9:15 a.m. and began their descent.
One air tank each. That ought to do it. That's probably enough for the spring that pumps the most water in the entire state of Florida, right? Probably enough. Hank, thank you for the $2 super chat. I think you missed a super chat earlier. Hashtag no big. Let me go check, my friend. You know I don't like to fucking miss super chats. Did I get Laura Reuter? I got her, right? Thank you, Laura. Not for God's sakes. And here's another one from Hank. I'd like to thank my lovely wife for the gifted membership. Psyched for the Atlantico Amigos release. Cue the fucking jingle. Tell you what, $5 super chat. Gets the jingle.
Atlantico amigos, golden cerveza gonna heal your soul. Let's go. Atlantico amigos, Mexican vibes on a Carolina shore.
Got them salty fair winds.
Those salty fair winds blowing through your hair. Barrel of cheese balls, Adirondack chair. 8 or 9 blue cans of that frothy stuff. Boat on the lake, man, I can't get enough. Vámonos, Atlantico amigos, golden cerveza gonna heal your soul. Let's go. Atlantico amigos, Mexican vibes on a Carolina shore.
Hola, señor.
I mean, maybe Sunday Morning Coming Down is a better song than that. Maybe fucking You're Always on My Mind is a better song than that. Maybe Big River is a better song than that. But it's rarefied air, Jack. Thank you, Hank. Much appreciate you, brother man. Brother man. Trey says he's eating cheese balls right now. F yeah. Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you treat yourself? What is it, Wednesday? It's hump week, for God's sakes. You deserve it. You've made it 2.5 whole days into the work week.
Again, in order to reach the run portion of the spring, they'd have to dive down to around 70 feet, and once they reached that spot, one of the cousins pulled out a spool of fishing line to use as a guideline. After fixing one end of it to the outside of the run,
I want to make sure that you guys caught that. They're using fishing line for the guideline. Fishing line. Not rope, not cord, not anything that they should be using. Fishing line. Here's another question if you're watching along. Do you think the fishing line was a bad idea? Do you think that comes to bear later in this story? Hank, $2. Thank you, buddy. Love that jingle. Hola, senor. Yes, Sonny swears to me that woman saying hola, senor is a lady that runs a Mexican food truck down at Lake Norman, North Carolina. I don't know if he's bullshitting me, but I'm going to choose to believe that that's correct. That would definitely be Mexican vibes on a Carolina shore. Oh, God. Yeah, let me know if you think fishing line was a good call to keep them alive.
two proceeded ahead into the rushing current. For a few moments, everything was going according to plan. The current was extremely strong, and they felt every bit of this force, but the dive was proceeding nicely until they got to about 55 feet inside. That's when one of the cousins' tanks began to free flow its air supply. Under normal circumstances, air will only flow through the regulator when a diver inhales. If a regulator starts to free flow, that means it's sending a constant supply of air through the regulator. This can make it feel like you're trying to inhale from a spraying hose. Causes of this can vary from cold water to damaged equipment, but in this case, it was the strong current that caused the tank to change how it was operating. This then caused the diver with the free-flowing tank to begin to panic, which only made the situation worse as the cousins struggled to fix the problem. With the constant spray of gas, it also causes a bunch of bubbles, which can sort of blind a diver. This might seem like it wouldn't be a huge issue,
No,
but
it
if
does.
you're juggling trying to breathe, being
No, it does seem like it's a huge issue that if you can't breathe because it's blowing air down your throat and also the bubbles are blinding you, also you're in an underwater cave in Florida. Trust me, that does seem like a big issue to me.
blinded and swimming against a current, you can see how it would quickly become overwhelming. Ordinarily, a diver might then use their partner's octopus, but the other diver with a working tank didn't have one. An octopus is basically a second regulator that can be used in the case of an emergency, but without one, the two were left with only one option, which was
Can you imagine not going into a situation like that? Like, I could understand maybe you're out with your lady and you're just you rent a boat and you're going to go down 10, 15 feet and look at a reef, try to see some pretty colorful fish. It's like maybe you don't bring your octopus with you, but like you're going in. Cave diving is statistically one of the most dangerous things you can do on this fucking planet. Leave it in the fucking car. Don't worry about it.
was passing the only working regulator back and forth. As they worked to get a hang of this process, the relentless current inside the run was quickly carrying them back to the entrance. Under the circumstances, this might seem like a stroke of luck, but this only served to severely entangle the cousins in their own fishing line.
Oh boy.
Upon realizing this, the two struggled and pried up the line, trying to free themselves so they could continue toward the surface, but it was quickly growing into a hopeless situation. All the while, being carried by the current, fighting against the line, they became so entangled that the line itself was soon keeping them underwater.
Can you fucking imagine how terrifying that would be? Can you imagine the panic? Like, I've felt panic in my life. I've heard loud noises. People have run up behind me in a parking lot. I've woken up after a terrible nightmare and not realized where I was. But could you even put yourself in a situation where you realize that you're wrapped up in fishing wire in a cave in Florida? Nobody can come get you. They don't have a diving knife? I don't want to like oversimplify this, but did they at least have a knife to try to cut themselves out? I would imagine. I don't know how many of you ever been like fishing, tried to untangle a fishing line. It is fucking possible. You can't do it. You just got to cut it. So I guess they forgot the octopus, and then they also forgot the fishing knife or the diver's knife. It's just unbelievable.
More panic then ensued, and soon after, the two drowned together while air was still left in the working tank.
Oh my God.
At 10:07 a.m., less than an hour after the boys entered Troy Spring, another diver came upon their bodies, but there was nothing he could do to help them. They were already gone. When recovery divers eventually entered the water to retrieve them, they found that the boys were so wrapped up in the fishing line that it took a full 10 minutes to cut them loose.
I mean, the problem here is, again, I don't think anybody else gets hurt. Rescuing these two, or not rescuing because they're dead, recovering these two. But the biggest problem that I have when we watch these videos is somebody's got to go get the bodies. And I don't know if you guys have been with me for all of them, but sometimes they die getting the bodies out. We watched one video where the motherfucker did find an air pocket, and they went in there and they were able to rescue him. And so I guess that's why, like, you know, these are very brave people that go in after the dum-dums wrap themselves up in fishing line. But I mean, that's the part that seems somewhat unforgivable to me. Is not just that you're willing to risk your own life, which is stupid, and it's going to affect a lot of other people, including the poor guy that's just diving into this hole thinking he's going to go do some scuba diving. And then there's two dead kids that he's got to happen across. It just drives me nuts. It's very difficult for me to have any compassion. Which is kind of a morbid place to be.
It was determined that several circumstances contributed to the tragedy at Troy Spring in 1990, but it was determined that inexperience and a lack of knowledge about cave diving was the main source of them all. The cousins simply didn't understand or appreciate the potential dangers. While it was good that they thought to bring a guideline to aid their dive, fishing line was also an inadequate choice to use in place of a thicker nylon rope.
Yep.
It's also believed that both divers may have been suffering from nitrogen narcosis. In an ordinary cave without the strong current, they may have made it out, but taken all together, they were simply too much to overcome.
Well, they wouldn't have made it out if they were tangled up in fishing line regardless, right? I mean, they wouldn't have made it out no matter what was going on with the current or if they had more experience. Like, if you wrap anybody up in fishing line, they're not going to make it out of that situation. So that's those guys. They're dead. There's two more in this one little video here. But, I mean, I got to. This is unbelievable. I had no idea you guys were going to fucking be this supportive tonight. But, my God. Got to thank James Paulak. Hope I said your name right, brother man, for the beautiful Venmo. Said, great shows, dropped off Blue Angel DVDs and an Indianapolis book. I'm not sure where did you drop it off at the store, sir? Are you here? Thank you so much, buddy. This is a very, very generous Venmo. Very kind. Yeah, if you'd like to circumvent any of the fees, of course, don't feel the need. Jason from CT has already picked up the tab here, but you can circumvent all of the bullshit that comes along with YouTube and Apple and all of that stuff by hitting the Venmo down there. It is much appreciated. Of course, if you'd like to pick up something nice for yourself, we do have the Pacifico Pals Summer Heat Hot Sauce, Chili Lime. It is absolutely fantastic. There are 8 copies of Black Lights in the Charmed City Left on vinyl. And, of course, now online, Atlantic Energy, the official energy drink, sugar-free energy drink of the Pacifico Pals. As you can see, Lucky Jack enjoying here. You can pick up that if you like as well. We are now shipping anywhere in the country. So you don't have to just throw your money into the void. Pick yourself up something nice. Go to CommonwealthDryGoods.com, and I'll package that shit up tomorrow and drop it in the mail myself. So thank you to James and everybody that supports here today. DC Sports Mark is with us. Hello, DC Sports Mark. My wife just asked, why is Chad screaming about cave diving again? I turned to her, much like Batman turns to Jim Gordon, and said, so we don't have to. Thank you, DC Sports Mark. I much appreciate that. And thank you for making all the sex man photoshops that I've been posting on the Instagram for the show. If you'd like to see some fun sex man AI Photoshop artwork, go to Instagram.com/ChadDukeShow. Many of them are DC Sports Mark's handiwork. All right, this one's a little sadder, but spoiler alert, I'll just let it roll and you can see for yourself. I almost didn't play this when I first started watching it because I thought it was too brutal.
At 55 years old, Sabine had spent more than 3 decades in the mountains of southeastern France. Since 1989, she worked as a professional instructor in nature sports, guiding others through the outdoors she loves so much. In addition to being a mountain guide, Sabine was a caving and canyoning guide, a cross-country skier, a Nordic hiking instructor, a mountain biker, and even a snowshoeing coach. In short, she had the kind of expertise that only comes from a lifetime spent outside. And for 30 years, she had been leading tours into the nearby Sassenage Couves cave.
Oof.
To her, this was just another way to share the world she loved so much with others. The Sassenage Couves cave was carved out by the Leger River roughly 1.5 million years ago, and its tunnels have been shaped ever since by the flow of underground water. Like most caves, its tunnels are tight and winding, with stretches that force visitors to stoop or even crawl.
Tight and winding isn't what you want. Somebody help me out. Like, Luray Caverns. We're all familiar? If you're in the Northern Virginia area, I imagine you went to Luray Caverns when you were a kid. That's about as small a space underground as I want to be in. Luray Caverns. Giant vaulted ceilings, velvet ropes. I don't need a safety line, don't need an extra tank of gas to suck on. Like, there's a big organ, there's the fried eggs. Remember the fried egg formations? That's the extent of the amount of underground time that I would want to share with people, and also that I would want to send my fucking kids into. Which comes to bear here, unfortunately.
And today, it's open to the public through guided tours that let visitors experience a safe introduction to caving.
Safe.
On the morning of May 5th, 2022,
This is
Sabine was
good.
leading a group of 5th graders from a nearby middle school. She was the team leader that day, guiding alongside 4 other professional instructors and a school teacher who had accompanied the class.
I'm not a helicopter parent. I think kids should be playing outside. I would take all the tablets away from them. I want them to skin their knees. I want them to build ramps and ride their BMX fucking bikes, all of it. Do all the shit that I did. Stick your hands into creeks trying to pull fish out. All that shit. Get a job as soon as you can so you can earn enough money to fucking buy F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. But I'm not sending my 15-year-olds into some crazy French fucking cave with some lunatic woman. No disrespect to her. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to helicopter parent the shit out of that.
The students were split into 3 groups, each setting off at staggered times to explore different sections of the cave. Inside the tunnels, the tour moved along as planned as the morning wore on. The students navigated the narrow passages and damp tunnels as Sabine and her fellow guides kept a close watch, but as noon approached, everything changed. The river outside began to surge, and the normally calm and shallow water started to rise much faster than anyone anticipated.
Oof.
Unbeknownst to those inside the cave, this was because of a sudden flash flood triggered by the rain that had been falling outside. That Thursday, there had been more rain than expected, but the conditions were not considered cause for concern. In that region, spring rainfall is common, and the local heavily vegetated terrain usually absorbs excess water without issue. Even to someone as experienced as Sabine or to any of the other guides, there was no reason to expect any danger.
There was no reason to expect any danger. This is the first time a flash flood became an issue while you're leading dozens of 5th graders into an underwater cave with an underwater river. I just have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that nobody checked the forecast and said, don't you need rain for a storm surge? We already did one of these where the guy, it starts raining outside and he drowns inside of the fuck. I mean, this happens. I don't know how many times, like, they don't give you the statistics on how many people go into these situations and get out safely, but all of these goddamn videos we watch, if they're not scuba diving, it's they go into an underground cave, they go exploring, it starts raining outside, it fills with water, and they drown. It's happened several times. Oof.
But in that moment, as the water began to pour into the tunnels, it was immediately clear they had to leave. The water was climbing fast and literally filling low-ceiling passages that had been dry just moments earlier. In caves like the Sassenage, even a small increase in water volume can turn walkable tunnels into currents of rushing water.
Then what are we doing?
The first 2 groups of students were ushered to safety by the time the flood intensified because their guides acted quickly and directed them out through the main passage. Every one of them made it out unharmed, but for the third group, the timing couldn't have been worse. Along with the teacher and 2 other guides, Sabine stayed behind to ensure the last of the students were accounted for. By that point, just a few minutes later, the current had strengthened and the escape routes were closing off fast. Amid the confusion and noise, one of the 5th graders lost her footing and was caught in the rushing waters. Sabine reacted instantly and instinctively to pull the girl back to safety before the water could carry her away. She would manage to grab her and the student survived because of that split-second decision and reaction, but it left Sabine exposed to the full force of the rising stream. Within moments, the situation became uncontrollable. One of Sabine's colleagues watched her struggle against the torrent and then disappear beneath the water. It all happened so fast that it left no time for an attempted rescue or even to shout a warning.
Imagine living with that. Like, again, I hate to keep going back to that, but it's kind of like, there's nothing funny about this, but like deciding to self-delete, like the people that do the by cop thing or they're jumping off an overpass. It's like, do you understand that maybe your life ain't worth nothing to you, but now you're affecting everybody around you? It's why I get so nuts when people are riding their e-bikes like out on the street, or they're riding their motorcycles on 495 and weaving in and out of fucking those guys that ride the rice rockets right up the middle of fucking traffic. And it's like, you've decided that your life doesn't mean anything, but when you fuck up and I am merging and I don't see you because I'm in an F-150 and you're in a Yamasaki and I crush you, I have to then deal with those repercussions. Like, I didn't sign up. I didn't make the bargain with you that your life is meaningless. You've involved me in your shit now. Parlay Pope says, I love how they say the cave is 1.5 million years old, like it's just a fact. They have no idea. Well, can't they carbon date the cave? They have an idea. They know how old rocks are. What are you talking about? You're just making that shit up? How do we know how old anything is then, if that's the case? You're a cynic, I think, Parlay Popes.
Sabine was just gone, washed away by the floodwaters, while the others moved to take shelter in a higher section. By late afternoon, word had reached emergency services that several adults were trapped inside. Around 30 cavers were called in along with firefighters and local authorities.
30 cavers.
By 11 p.m., the 2 guides and the teacher had been rescued from the cave, but things had already turned tragic. Just before they were found, Sabine's lifeless body was recovered from one of the lower passages.
Sheesh.
Because of her quick reaction and selflessness, every one of the students that she'd been guiding made it out alive, but ultimately it cost her own life. Today, she is remembered as a local hero.
I mean, I hate to be cynical, and it's noble that she was able to do that, but I just think you'd be a local hero if you said, why are we doing this? What are these kids going to learn in this cave they can't learn in a fucking museum that if you're an adult and you go into a situation like that, there's just so much trust involved. And then if that's even a possibility, I just don't know why it's worth it. Maybe I don't know enough about what you fucking see in caves or what you find in caves that it would be worth risking something like that. But somebody's saying, no, we're in France. We're going to go to the Louvre. We're going to go to the fucking, and 28 weeks later where the zombies run up on the Eiffel Tower, we're going to go see where they shot that scene. Any of that is a better alternative than this. Seems to me that France has some history. They're involved in a couple of world wars, right? They definitely fought valiantly. All right.
At 42 years old, Martin, who was better known to his friends as Marcy, was one of Hungary's most skilled and respected divers. He was a national champion several times over in navigational scuba diving, and on the world stage, he earned silver and bronze medals in international competitions. His skills served a much larger purpose than competition, though. He was equally at home exploring dry caves as he was pushing forward Hungary's underwater cave research scene. He'd spent years...
Hungary's underwater cave research scene. Fucking wow. Someone find me the subreddit for Hungary's underwater cave research scene. You can't get in the fucking Hungary's underground home pizza making scene. Hey, I'm going to learn to roast my own coffee beans. I'm going to go looking for some dinosaur bones. I mean, there's just so many other fucking scenes you can be into, man. Like, how about we do some speed runs on Paper Mario? That don't scratch the itch? What else is there? Let's work with pit bulls. How dangerous do we need to get here? Are there crocodiles in Hungary? Bird watching, Rustic. Caving is like skydiving, not lucky. Skydiving is infinitely more safe than this shit. And if you die skydiving, you die skydiving. Everybody gonna find you. They don't have to send scuba divers into a death trap to drag your dumb dead ass out. I'll go over it 1,000 times. Oh, boy. I mean, Jesus Christ. If you die skydiving, it's, hey, he jumped out of a plane and died. We'll close the book on that. Not making light of it. And usually the noobs have got some hairy dude strapped to their back. You guys know the Mark Borger video. That hairy dude ain't going to let you die. He just looks like he's nailing you in the keister. Look, I'm no homophobe. I want to make sure that we make that clear. I'm not. I got a track record of this shit. You go back and listen to old tapes of Big O and Dukes. Our listeners used to get pissed. I said I was pro-gay marriage. But here's what I could also acknowledge. I can't go skydiving because the only way you can do it is if you have a dude strapped to your back and it looks like he's nailing you in the keister. Now, if you want to say that I'm a caveman and a moron because of that, I understand. And I'll relent. But I can only be honest. Like, here I am. I'm brave. I jumped out of a plane. Look at this man strapped to my back. And the only thing it looks like he's doing, again, is spitting on that thing. Unless you land on somebody. Yeah, I mean, if you land on somebody, that would be unfortunate. And I would agree with you there, Parlay Pups. Marriage is gay anyway. Yeah, for straight silver case. I agree. Enoch is here. Good to see you, Enoch. Hit the like button, Nodak. Are people not hitting the like button? What the fuck is going on around here? How many likes do we have? Is anybody keeping track? All right. So this guy is a great scuba diver, so I'm sure he makes it out of this situation unscathed.
Exploring submerged cave systems across Hungary, Montenegro, and Bosnia. And
imagine cave diving in Bosnia! Imagine cave diving in Bosnia. What are you doing this weekend, honey? Well, they opened up a new tiki bar around the corner from my work. I figure I'd go to happy hour there. Nope. Cave diving in Bosnia. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Holy shit, man. What happened to you? Did dad hug you not enough or too much? I can't even figure it out. To need that in your life.
Friends even used to tease him about his ever-careful approach to diving. Where other divers would spot a clear passage into an unknown and uncharted section of the cave and see opportunity, Marcy would see a reason to stop, go back, and plan before proceeding ahead.
So Marcy's the super safe dude. He's the one that takes all the precautions. So he definitely makes it out, right? He's on this scary, interesting YouTube because he went to the bottom of this cave and mapped it out safely and then found a cure for Alzheimer's down there. I'd have to assume that's why he's included in this video. What's the title again? They should have stayed out of this deadly cave. Okay.
So when the phone rang in the office of Andres on the afternoon of Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, he immediately knew that he would not be receiving good news. As the leader of the Hungarian Cave Rescue Service, Andres had taken plenty of calls like this before.
Who's in the Hungarian Cave Rescue Service? It's a pretty dope logo. It's got a bat. It's got some rope. It looks like the rope from Clue. It's a big Red Cross logo in the middle, so they're going to steal your money. Oh my God, the Hungarian Cave Rescue Service. That such a thing is needed. All right, DC Sports Mark, we're going to make stickers out of that logo. Capture that for me, please. Oh, boy. I'm going to throw up. That such a thing is needed. The Hungarian Cave Rescue Service. How about we all just have some goulash? Is that Hungarian? I love goulash. There's 8 million Thai restaurants in Fairfax. Not one place you can get goulash.
From injured cave explorers to trapped and experienced cave divers who went well beyond their means, it was his job to figure out how to produce the best possible outcome. This call was different though. The voice on the other end was tense as it informed him that a diver had gone missing in Kossuth Cave in the hills of Hungary's Agtelek National Park near the Slovakian border. Earlier that day, a team of highly experienced divers were conducting exploratory dives near what was once thought to be the end of the system in an area known as Siphon 3.
Hopeless Siphon. Did you guys see that? What is the name of that fucking place?
of Hungary's Agtelic National Park near the Slovakian border. Earlier that day, a team of highly experienced divers were conducting exploratory dives near what
Bro. Who the fuck? Who the fuck? I swear to God, they could name these caves Death, Adder-filled, Asp, King Cobras in the bottom, Balloon Knot Vipers, chiggers. It's filled with chiggers. It doesn't matter. People are going to... You're diving into a cave that is named the Hopeless Siphon. It would lead me to believe that it's hopeless and I'm going to be siphoned down to the bottom. Maybe I'm nuts. Do you guys remember the sign? I saw the sign and it opened up my mind, and I am happy now living without you. Cave diving death sign. Do you guys remember that goddamn sign? I feel like we showed it on the last time that we were watching cave diving videos, where they actually put this sign in the bottom of caves to try to stop people from going any further into the cave. I got it. I found it. This is nuts. So these people are so mentally fucking ill that putting this sign up probably only encourages them. What were those two kids that we just watched where they told everybody in their life that they wanted to go into that spring and everyone said, no, don't do it. It only just reinvigorated them. All right, where is it? This is it. This is the sign. This is the sign. They put this sign in the bottom of these caves. Who was here for the first one? Jason, do you remember? What was the name of that cave that I think it was the first video we did. It was called the Eagle's Nest or something, where you dove down to the very bottom. There was a tiny little passage and it opened up into a space called the ballroom. And then it had chutes going off to either side where just motherfuckers were dying left and right. They put this sign at the entrance to the cave. It's in the water. You can look it up. Stop. Prevent your death. Go no further. More than 300 scuba divers, including open water scuba instructors, have died in caves just like this one. You needed training to dive. You need cave training and cave equipment to cave dive. Without cave training and cave equipment, divers can die here. It can happen to you. There's nothing in this cave worth dying for. Do not go beyond this point. That's the fucking issue that I have with all of this. The North Carolina Shipwreck Project, they are diving down to preserve history. American history, British history, German history. They're finding shipwrecks of all sorts, different generations, wooden ships, iron ships, steel ships. And it's dangerous, but it ain't this dangerous. This is a completely different monster. What are you learning? This is masturbation. This is self-gratification, man. Like, what are you getting out of this? I've mapped this whole cave. Now what? Is the cure for cancer down there? Is there buried treasure? Is there history that you are then going to take and be able to teach future generations? I mean, what are we doing? That shit drives me nuts, bro. Drives me nuts. All right, here it is. Florida underwater cave. Stop, prevent your death. Yup. Eagle's Nest sinkhole. I mean, this is it. It's the first one that comes up. It's so nutty to me that, like, it's so, like, here it is. That's the sign. It's underwater. You can tell that. Considered the most dangerous dives on the planet, extreme deaths, maze-like architecture. It's been called the Mount Everest of cave dives. You might as well put a big goddamn sign out front that says, "We want dullards to die here." What did I just do? All right. And again, man, I don't mean any disrespect. It's a horrible thing, but it's there's other ways. There's other ways to get an endorphin bump, right? All right, I lost my video. Where is it? I'll find it. Reasons why I like my couch. Well, that's it, Parlay Popes. I mean, I understand everybody has different proclivities. Like, there's a bunch of guys out there that jerk off to feet. That just seems horrible to me. It's the worst thing you could think of. That doesn't mean there's not a lot of other people that feel differently. And that's technically not hurting anybody as long as you're not a creep. As long as you're not going into dressing rooms and fucking stealing women's socks. I don't give a shit. I don't want anything to do with it. But again, that's not getting you killed. That's not getting it so you have to have other people go in and drag you out of the hopeless siphon. The hopeless siphon. That's what it's like being one of my friends. It's a hopeless siphon. You heard Mike and Sean almost punched out on Wednesday's episode of the Chad Duke Show. A-Man almost punched out 2 weeks before that. It's a hopeless siphon.
Was once thought to be the end of the system in an area known as Siphon 3. Marcy was among them on the way into the summit, but he wasn't on the way out. This news hit Andres hard and he didn't know how to react. Everyone in the diving community knew Marcy, and if he hadn't come back, something was seriously wrong. So within minutes of receiving the call, Andres was on the road juggling phone calls and assembling a team while mentally running through every scenario. Unfortunately, he knew the odds weren't in Marcy's favor. He had been underwater for hours by then, far past any realistic survival window, so the best that Andres could hope for was that Marcy had found an air-filled pocket on the other side of Siphon 3.
Oof.
By the time he arrived at Cusseth Cave around 11 p.m., the area was already crawling with rescuers and support teams. Within minutes of the alert going out, the country's best were already on their way. Hungary has 3 separate cave rescue organizations, and all 3 immediately came together for this one.
Imagine 3 separate you have to have 3 separate cave. There's more cave rescuing organizations than there are lifeguards in Hungary. And now there's just dozens and dozens of people that now have to put their life at risk in what we assume is a recovery mission, because what are the chances this dude's alive?
Tents were being set up, gear was in the process of being sorted, medical teams were forming, and some rescuers were even inside the cave assessing the situation from the dry areas as they waited for orders. As soon as he exited his vehicle, Andres took charge of logistics, making sure the divers who knew the cave best, particularly the area in and around Siphon 3, had everything they needed. Unfortunately though, there weren't many who fit that bill. In fact, you could count them on one hand, and Marcy was among them. Among the others were 2 veteran divers, Victor and Andres. With more than 25 years of diving experience, Victor had been Marcy's friend and dive partner on countless expeditions. The 2 of them were the only people to have reached the farthest point of Siphon 3. And
so the place that he's diving is so goddamn dangerous that there's only 2 people in the whole country that are capable of actually getting in there and offering any type of assistance. Do you need assistance? I mean, I don't know. If that's not enough to make you at least second guess whether or not, hey, let's go see Project Hail Mary. Sounds pretty good. Let's get some fucking kielbasa. Maybe they got some real good spicy mustard. We are in Hungary, in fact.
now, Victor would be the one going back in to find his longtime partner. That, however, would have to wait until the next day. Organizing cave rescues takes time, especially in a cave as complex and challenging as Cusseth. Located on the edge of a small Hungarian village, Cusseth Cave is one of the country's most preserved and fascinating natural systems. The cave was first discovered in 1956 when a team of researchers managed to reach the entrance to what became known as the Dry Passage. During that first exploration, they stopped when they made it to the water-filled section ominously called the Hopeless Siphon. Beyond that, the passage completely disappears underwater. Inside, the cave stream also flows from the siphon.
Hopeless Siphon is what fucking Mike Vrabel's got his new nickname for Diane Rossini's going to be. Hi-oh! Hi-oh!
Through the dry tunnel toward the entrance, pooling into a small lake along the way. And today, the map portion of the system stretches roughly 4,921 feet or 1,500 meters, and drops about 171 feet or 52 meters vertically. For decades after the discovery, the Hopeless Siphon marked the known limit of exploration.
Look at that. Look at that fucking photo. Throw the dollar figure out it would take. Throw the monies it would take to get you to recreate this photo in this spot. And what I realize now, watching this a second time, is it's not just an underwater cave. You got to go from dry cave to wet cave. Sounds disgusting. You're going back and forth. It's like going back and forth between your ball bag and your asshole. We'd call that not prime real estate.
As no one had successfully passed it, despite repeated efforts that continued into the early 2000s. The Amphora Diving Club spent years widening tunnels and installing guidelines in hopes that one day they'd reach further into the
How are they
system.
widening tunnels?
And that day finally came in 2009 when they managed to get through the hopeless siphon and emerged into a vast chamber they named Our Father's Hall.
A father.
This chamber ended in another water-filled section, and to move forward, divers had to squeeze through an even tighter underwater passage known as Siphon 2.
Jesus Christ. So, like, are we taking our diving gear off? Like, are we leaving the homeless siphon and then entering Our Father's Hall and then going back into Siphon 2 with our gear back? Like, how are you preparing for this? At what point do we say, what's the end game? Like, how far do I need to get to make this worthwhile? Chase from CT said, I bet he finds him. I bet he does too. But I bet it's going to be difficult because I bet he ain't moving.
This led them to another narrow air pocket and from there into Siphon 3. This last known section descended to a depth of 157 feet or 48 meters, and it was here that something happened to Marcy. Snow still covered the ground outside Kossuth Cave on Monday, April 4th as rescuers huddled near the entrance and final checks were made on the dive gear. At 4:02 p.m., Victor and Andres descended into the dark cave waters and began to head towards Siphon 3. The plan was to swim to the far end of Siphon 3, assess the situation, and search for any signs of Marcy.
Pretty good plan.
The passage was narrow, visibility was near zero, and the temperature of the water was close to freezing. On the surface, the support team waited as the minutes dragged on for almost an hour when Victor and Andres resurfaced. Victor then reported that he reached the end of the passage, but there wasn't much left of it. The tunnel at Siphon 3 was completely blocked, filled in with collapsed clay and rock debris, and there was no getting past it. Even the guide rope that had once cleanly run through the area was now buried, and there was no safe way forward. Following their dive, rescue organizers gathered around a laptop as Victor reviewed the footage from his helmet camera. The video showed just how murky things were near the collapse,
Look at this.
and it unmistakably showed a wall of debris where the tunnel should have been.
My arteries.
As they paused and rewound the footage countless times, someone noticed something metallic in one corner of the frame, and once it was pointed out, they determined it was likely the edge of a scuba tank. Right away upon making this discovery, the mood in the room shifted. If that was one of Marcy's tanks, then he might have left it behind and made it through the collapse to an air pocket on the other side.
Can you fucking imagine? That's what that means to you? You think somehow he's teleported to the other side of the collapse? I mean, these guys are brave as shit, man. The second I saw that, I'd be like, he's donezo. He's Dunsky. Who wants to go get a fucking club sandwich and have a cigar? I'm buying. Your average Rusky doesn't take a dump, son, without a plan. I don't care much for him wearing the uniform. I wish we could do a watch through. Is there any way you could do a watch through of Hunt for Red October? Could I mean, would they shut my YouTube channel down if I did a watch through of the Hunt for Red October? How could that not be something that we do here on this show? All right. All right, I'm going to take a piss. You guys fucking tell me what happens.
This optimism, however, came from complete uncertainty. No one could say for sure that what they were seeing was one of Marcy's tanks, and even if it was, there was no guarantee it was a sign he was still alive. By nightfall, a new plan formed to get clear footage of the debris and the object that looked like a tank. That plan came to life the following afternoon, and by 5 p.m., Victor and Andres were ready to re-enter Kossuth Cave. Once again, the two disappeared into the water as the support team watched, but just 26 minutes later, Andres resurfaced. He was cold and breathing hard, and once he collected himself, he informed the team he couldn't find a way through Siphon 3. Victor, however, did, and he actually continued on as the rest of the team continued to wait for nearly another hour for him to return. When he finally emerged from the underwater sections of the cave, no one spoke a word. Victor then pulled off his mask and sat there for a moment, catching his breath as every eye in the cave rested on him. The look on his face said it all. Victor had found Marcy, and he was dead. Marcy was about 98 feet or 30 meters into Siphon 3, just beyond the collapsed section. Victor had followed the guideline as far as he could, and there, through the haze of rock and floating sediment, he spotted Marcy's body.
Oh, body.
The missing diver was still in his full gear and caught in the narrowest part of the tunnel.
I was just going to ask if he made it, but...
From the position of his body and his equipment, it looked like he had been on his way out of the cave when disaster struck. Outside the entrance of Kossuth Cave, rescuers embraced while others stood silently, trying to digest the horrible news that was making its way around.
Again, I'm sure this is all worth it. Big verbal nod to the Matthew Burke Memorial Urinal. I could just walk right over there, piss in my urinal, and then walk right back here and make sure that I get back in time for another senseless death.
At that moment, the operation shifted from rescue to recovery. In the days that followed, once the initial shock faded and the divers got some rest, rescuers turned their attention to understanding what might have gone wrong. The team reviewed dive logs, footage, verbal accounts, and every small piece of data gathered from the collapsed section. little by little, a picture of what happened to Marcy began to form, and organizers could put together a theory of what most likely happened. What they determined was that Marcy was working carefully and methodically, as he always had at the end of Siphon 3. His last recorded movements showed that he had advanced a few feet beyond the previously explored end of the siphon, and there he attached the guide rope to a new anchor point. This was a routine part of extending the map's route. Visibility at the time was poor, but not unusually so, and certainly presented nothing beyond Marcy's abilities and experience. Once the line was secured to the anchor point, he began turning back toward the exit.
This is the part that's terrifying.
Changed. At some point during his return, a section of clay and rock from the tunnel ceiling gave way. Divers who examined the site found compacted sediment on top of the guideline and signs that the material had fallen from above. No one could say for certain whether Marcy was struck directly or became trapped by the debris, but it was possible that he died instantly when the collapse occurred.
Possible.
It's also possible that he survived for a short time and was unable to free himself as his air supply slowly dwindled to
That's
nothing.
fucking great.
Unfortunately, the evidence that experts had available couldn't answer that part.
Here's where I decide whether or not I'm going to have a new hobby. I have a very quick checklist. One is there a large hairy man strapped to my asshole? And if the answer is yes, then that's not going to be a hobby that I do. The other is, if I have the option of running out of oxygen and dying slowly underwater, I'm not doing it. I'll find something else to do. I'll play Jenga. I'll put a fucking Lego set together of Minas Tirith. Can you imagine? Let's see, this new hobby of yours. There's a possibility that you could do everything right and the cave could collapse on your fucking head and pinch off your oxygen line and you could die a slow, agonizing death at the bottom of a cave alone in the dark. And then we're going to send your friends in because they're the only ones that can get to this part of the cave where you died alone in the dark, and they could possibly die horrifically too. Oh, that's a bingo, Parlay Popes. Is that how you say it? We just say bingo.
What rescuers did know was that Marcy did not cause the accident. His equipment was in perfect condition, and he did everything inside Siphon 3 by the book.
Oh.
The dive was well within his capabilities, and he had been his usual cautious self while executing the furthering of the guideline. The tragedy was simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, in a cave!
Planning for the retrieval of Marcy's body began immediately, and those preparations were complete by Thursday, April 7th. 7 divers then descended into the hopeless sump to act as support, while Victor and Andres went deeper, returning to the farthest reaches of Siphon 3. The next day, Andres reached Marcy's body and began preparing it. He placed a black bag over Marcy's head and carefully removed his remaining equipment.
Christ.
He then secured his limbs tightly to his body to make transport possible before guiding him upward a few feet at a time. Victor then took over the next phase and brought Marcy to a point just below the siphon entrance. On Saturday, April 9th, the team continued the painstaking work of moving Marcy's body through the underwater tunnels and finally reached our father's hall. It wouldn't be until 10:29 a.m. on Sunday that Andres entered the water for the final stage. When he resurfaced hours later, Marcy's body was with him and onto dry land for the first time in a week.
Can you imagine? I mean, I don't want to sound cold, but like this is a multi-day process of just getting the corpse out of the hole. I can't imagine if you went to any of these guys. I'd like to go to them because they clearly they're braver than I'll ever be, but I think it's misguided bravery. It's like, hey man, you've got this unbelievable, almost reckless nature where self-preservation is not something that you're all that concerned with. Can we focus this? Can we turn this into something that's more valuable? Like, can we make you a black ops soldier, or can we make you somebody that's willing to go into the jungle and find herbs to be able to turn into medication that could help pancreatic cancer or some shit? And then also another thing that I would ask them is, you know what happens if you fucking have something take place in here that you can't handle? All these guys have got to risk it all to get in here and drag your dead body out. Not rescue you, but bring your corpse out of a sense of honor and duty. And yes, I just said duty. I know it's inappropriate, but I like the word.
When his body was finally out of the cave, all the rescuers lined up in formation and bowed their heads as the sound of sirens blared for 1 minute to honor Marcy.
Oh, boy.
On April 29th, an official memorial service was held for Marcy in Budapest with more than 300 people in attendance.
Budapest.
If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching.
Yep.
If you have a story suggestion, feel free to submit it to the forum found in the description.
The horrifying
Also,
story
if you
of
want
the
to support
black
channel,
hole of
consider joining Patreon
Calcutta.
and becoming a channel member here on YouTube. Anyways, thanks again, and hopefully I will see you the next one.
Yeah, hopefully I don't decide to become a cave diver by the time the next one rolls around, brother. All right, check them out. That's Scary Interesting. They do a very good job. I get frustrated every time. I get frustrated every time we do one of these. All right, hit the like button. We're losing viewers left and right. It's how we do it here on YouSchoode. Okay. Maybe we should do the unboxing show. What do you guys think? Does that sound like something that would be amenable? I think I even have a fucking theme song for it, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the unboxing show with Chad Dukes. Send in a box of bad fruits. It's gonna be a gas, but it ain't gonna last. So hit the like button, send a super chat. Watch Bradley Fukerton unwrap this and that. It's the unboxing show, and Ted dumped his girl on the phone.
What a guitar solo. Come on. Come on, it's the unboxing show with Chad Dukes. Ah? Hell yeah. Let's get it. All right. As I said earlier, you can be part of the unboxing show. All you have to do is send in your boxer envelope. Commonwealth Dry Goods C/O, the unboxing show. Oh, wait, I think we have some more fucking lyrics here. Hold on.
So hit the like button, send a super chat. Watch Bradley Fukerton unwrap this and that. It's the unboxing show, and Ted dumped his girl on the phone.
There's no denying that. Ted did dump his girl on the phone. She was all the way out in California, fighting Iron Fist, if I'm not mistaken. Commonwealth Dry Goods CO, the unboxing show, 10409C Main Street, Fairfax, Virginia 22030. Of course, you can scan the code, and the address is there as well. Are there more fucking lyrics to this song? Christ, I forgot how long this goddamn song is. It's longest jingle of all time. Somebody should have unboxed some cave diving equipment. Yeah, I agree. It would have saved a lot of problems. All right, so I got three envelopes here. I think they're just envelopes, and they're from different people, if you can believe it. This one, actually, this is a big deal. This is from my buddy Andy. As you can see here, it says Howler Brothers on it. My buddy Andy, who is the lead singer of the Wrinkle-Neck Mules. And for those of you that don't know, he's also one of the owners of Howler Brothers. Howler Brothers Clothing. And he sent me this, which is cool. It's very QL. I'm a big fan of the brand. The only thing I don't like about it is that, well, it stops them from making music. And I'm not a big fan of that. So we'll open this up first. I was not expecting this. I don't know if it's officially an unboxing show entry, but this is a 100% recyclable bag. I'm a fan of that. It says heed the call on this. Let's take a look. Whoa, this is pretty fucking fancy. Let's take a look. Looks like a camp shirt. It's got boats on it. Look at that, huh? It's got anchors and boats. This is beautiful. There's no way I'll be able to button this in front of my massive gut, as is well documented on this YouTube channel. Hold fast. There's a shark. See the shark? That's very nice. Thank you, Andy. He must know I've been bit by the nautical bug. Just very kind of him. This is from my guy, David Slot. Sent this into the unboxing show. And I pre-opened this. I haven't looked inside, but there is a note. Take a look. It says, Chad, I saw this while looking for outrageously named grocery store brand sodas, and I thought you would enjoy. We're a big fan of the generic Dr. Thunders, the Mountain Mists. What's all the different fucking generic names for sodas that Safeway Select? David's a good man. He's been listening for a very long time. Thank you, David. Let's take a look. Oh, this is nice. I bet this thing cost him $20. National Geographic, Shipwrecks, Tale of Treasure, Danger, and Adventure at Sea. This is nice. I don't know if you've ever bought one of these magazines at the Harris Teeter, at the MacGruber's, but yeah, they used to be $6. The Queen Anne's Revenge, Rex you can visit. It's in France? No, country of origin, France. Yeah, that's Blackbeard's ship. Yeah, we got to go to that. This is nice. This was $14.99. $17.99 in Canada. Fuck Canada. Can I get a fuck Canada in the chat? All right, so far this is just a fucking unbelievable unboxing show. And then finally, this is from Jeff Nelms, one of my bestest listeners. He lives in North Cackalack as well. A handwritten note. I gotta say, it's also college-ruled paper. If you write in on a yellow legal pad, you get extra credit. I love a handwritten note. Dear Dukes, I picked up a set of these for other managers in my company. I'm not sure if Biker Sean has been successful silencing your seatbelt alarm. This is a knuckle-dragger way to do that. I think they're pretty useful. Had CDS printed on them. Hope it helps. If not, they will work well as a beer opener. I bought a couple of extra in case you want to give them away. Thanks for all the laughs. I listen to all the old shows, the Hoots, the live shows, Solid Dudes, and Drinking on the Deck, and usually as I'm driving all over. See you at Atlantico Amigos. Jeff, you're coming up for Atlantico Amigos. Thank you, buddy. Very excited for that. All right, let's take a look here. I have another envelope inside of an envelope. Holy shit. Oh, I think I knew these existed. Fuck. Check this out. It's branded. It's Chad Duke Show branded. Made in the USA. The ticket for off-road use only. So this is, it looks like you stick this thing into your seatbelt and then it stops the dinging. It stops all of the dinging. Oh, there's 3 of them here. Oh, he did give me some to give away. That is very cool. So you can put this in your seatbelt. It will stop all the dinging in your truck. And you don't have to sit there and fucking... I mean, look, I usually wear my seatbelt, but there's just sometimes I want it to stop bitching at me. And Ant-Man does the bit where he plugs in the fucking seatbelt and then he sits on the goddamn seatbelt. This is very nice. I got 3 of them. 3 of them. That's awesome. All right, I'll give away one of these seatbelt execution dingy thingies. If you order anything off CommonwealthDryGoods.com tonight, you're entered. Right now, no one has ordered, so if you order, you got a really good chance to win. I'm going to keep one for myself, but Jeff Nelms has actually branded these CDS versions. This is very nice. And it comes with key rings, so I guess you could just put it on your key ring. You don't even have to worry about leaving it in the truck. Yep. I'll randomly pick somebody that orders tonight, and I'll throw one of these in your box. This is very nice, Jeff Nelms. Thank you so much, buddy. Very, very kind. Jeff's so nice. Everybody's so nice. Any other fucking podcast did an unboxing segment, they'd just be filled with piss and vinegar and piss and cum and piss and shit. You guys would know how it went. Oh, boy. I just need my guy to hit Kiss From a Rose one time for me. Well, I gotta say, Black and Gold, if you come out on the 25th. I'm not calling my shot. It's a free event. You come out on the 25th, you got a good chance of hearing me belt out Kiss from a Rose. I haven't done it live and in person in a while, and I got an itching. I got an itching to do it. I was singing the other day, but I only got to the first part, which goes like this. See, I've been practicing, but I can't do it here. I need the acoustics. I need the acoustics of being inside of Fairwinds. That's the best place to sing, is when you're inside of a brewery with vaulted ceilings and metal walls and doors. All right. Do you guys want to talk about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini scrumping? Do you want to take a look at the mole people? Or do you want to see the fugitive train wreck that includes the train and the bus from The Fugitive? What do you want to... You know what? You get to pick again, Jason from CT. You're my guy. Will there be Plan B on site? Kevin, it's not my responsibility to keep your women unpregnant. If they hear me, I'm not much to look at. Now, I don't have a nice bodice, but when I rip loose with R. Kelly's fucking classic from the Batman Forever soundtrack, gonna be very difficult for me to not knock up your ladies. So I'm gonna leave that on you. Fair warning. If you bring your broad out to Fairwinds, she's more than welcome, but you might leave there raising one of my kids. I'm just being as honest and as open as I possibly can about this. It's been reported to me for many, many years. This is symptomatic of my singing ability. I might throw up. Didn't Rossini get accused of doing some shitty stuff back when she covered the Redskins? Yes. Yes. I never had a problem with Diana Rossini. I don't think I ever had her on the show. I know the Junkies had her on a lot, but I'd say there's plenty of rumors. There was some tweets from Scott McLuhan's ex-wife, I believe. There was a big rumor. There was a big rumor going around about her and another female reporter and a member of the Washington Redskins staff. I heard lots of things. I chose not to, I've never talked about him because people talk shit about me. Like, I don't want to foment unrest. But, yeah, now that we're seeing these pictures and some of the crazy tweets and videos and some of the things she said about her husband. Look, here's what I will say. It is very easy. Like, when I was going through my bullshit, people were going back and pulling old clips of me trying to be funny on Big O and Dukes and being like, look at this hateful piece of shit. Like, you can put together a cavalcade of anybody that's been speaking publicly for years and make it sound any way you want. So, like, I'm not sitting here in condemnation. What I am saying, and what I feel very comfortable saying, is I heard a lot of shit. And also, the one thing that I can't deny is that we all saw the pictures. The one that's the most damning, I think, is the one, because they're claiming, right, like Vrabel and Rossini are claiming that they were there with a bunch of friends. None of them have come forward, as far as I know. But the one where it's like pulled way back, and you can see there is nobody around for miles and miles and miles, and they're on the roof. It's like, well, where are all these other people? Where is everybody? As you're holding hands and embracing each other. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's messy. We'll probably talk about it on the show next week. There's probably going to be more information, but it certainly doesn't look right. People, I'm the first one to always say, hey, this is none of our fucking business. But the problem with that is, she's been pushing a lot of stories in this offseason involving the New England Patriots and A.J. Brown, and there's allegations now that if she is in some sort of relationship with Vrabel and she's trying to drive down the market for A.J. Brown, I don't know, man. There's some impropriety there, and they both addressed it, too. Like, they both came out and issued statements that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know. Mike, I'm not going to say that. Oh, Mikey OneNote. Good to see you today, Mike. Thank you for coming in to pick up your shirt. Very kind. Okay, so this is, for those of you that are unfamiliar, the 1992, I think, classic The Fugitive, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. Fantastic movie. Was, I guess, is it a reboot? I don't know. back when reboots could work well, I watched a couple episodes of the Fugitive on Nick at Night. The movie is better. They made a movie. It got nominated for some Academy Awards, and there's a fabulous sequence where Dr. Richard Kimball, played by Harrison Ford, is on a prison train and a prison bus rather, and it gets run into by a train, and it's a practical effect. Well, as fate would have it, the train and the bus are still there next to the track in a rural North Carolina town. Great comment, Mike. This is a bad bit. So, Mike, you're putting over your own disgusting, perverted comments from a different account. You got to come up with some new material, brother. I'm not saying I've heard you be funny many times. I think you can be funny, but just constantly talking about plowing sluts, that ain't it. I don't know how else to say it. All right, so this is it's called The Fugitive Trainwreck, and it's by a YouTube account called Dream Poet. And for full disclosure, more subscribers than I have, and this has more views than probably any of my videos have. I am going to shit all over it, though, just FYI. There's the track. Worst theme song ever. Not a great logo.
You know, this drainage pipe feels very fitting for what we're about to talk about. What's up, you guys? Chet Guthrie, the Dream Poet here.
Okay. You need to take a breath. You need to slow down, take a deep breath. What is going on with the hair here? Do we know what's going on with the hair here?
Coming to you all from the middle of nowhere. Well, actually, not really the middle of nowhere. Waynesville, well, no, not even that.
Maybe some notes on where you are and what you're doing. Is this a faux hawk? Here's another problem. This dude's completely blown up. From one out-of-shape guy to another, like, you don't want to take the video of you walking if you can barely get enough air in to continue. And he's walking down a hill, too, by the way. Some wind sprints, so he's not. Well, yeah, I would think maybe if I'm going to start doing videos, like I'm going to be an influencer and I know that I'm going to be up and on the go, it's like maybe we invest in a life cycle, because he's sucking all the air out of the front two rows. I remember one time Scott Steiner came down after a long layoff, and he was so blown up by the end of the 2 minutes against Triple H that the announcer said that he was sucking all the air out of the first 2 rows of the arena. I always thought that was a funny line.
Dillsboro, North Carolina. There we go. Anyway, guys, we are in a little back road here, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But we have come out here to see something that is very, very cool. Something that I don't think, well, actually, no, I take that back.
Do you think he did this with his hair on purpose? Like, is there product involved here? Like, why would you go for the faux hawk if you're losing the hair? Because then doesn't it already accentuate, the area of your head where the hair is thinning? This is a very interesting choice.
People know that they are out here.
And also there's like a curl. There's like a curl in the front. Like he's gone out of his way to push a couple of hair. Look at the fucking crazy eyes here. Yeah, that's quite a look. But they're pierced, down and then up. Then we got the gasping for breath. Wait till you see what happens next.
They're really cool. And in saying so, I should have definitely worn something more.
What the fuck is it with gross dudes wanting desperately to show us their hammer toes? Is this motherfucker wearing board shorts? Are those tan slides? What are we doing? He had to know he was driving to a crash site off the highway in the woods in North Carolina. It appears that we're wearing a swimsuit, no socks, giant pale fucking legs, and hammer toes. Nobody wants to see your toes. Nobody. I don't want to see Tori Wilson in 2001. I don't want to see her toes. Much less this dude. Let's see how long he stays on his feet.
Then sandals today because I had to go down a muddy embankment to get here. Probably not the actual way to get in.
Look at that. Look at that fucking tiny toe. There is no air going on over there. It is crammed into the side. And the surface of toenail to toe ratio for those big toes, troubling to say the least. This motherfucker is walking down a hill completely gassed out, wearing tan slides, a bathing suit, and an Eddie Bauer quarter zip. And this video has dominated the views for any video I've ever put out. You know how I know? Because there ain't no way I've ever gotten to 4,000 views. I think the only thing that's gotten the 4,000 views on my YouTube channel is there's a radiophile episode that I did on JFK for Big O and Dukes. If you'd like to check it out, if you miss Bode, there's a radiophile episode for free on my fucking YouTube channel, and it's my #1 video. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Please take the camera off your feet.
But here along these railroad tracks is not only a train wreck,
Gassed.
but a filming location. Yes, these are the trains from the 1990s hit film, The Fugitive.
1990s.
These locomotives right here, this was a $1.3 million excursion, something that they needed to do. And what they did is they had an actual train wreck bowl or thunder into a bus.
Bowl or thunder into a bus? What does that mean? It is cool that it still says Illinois Southern on it because the movie takes place in Chicago. And this is North Carolina. So these are definitely screen-used trains that were then abandoned. I wonder why you're just allowed to abandon something of this size on the side of the fucking road. Like, was it planned to be some sort of a tourist attraction? Gassed the fuck out, too, by the way. He can barely catch his breath.
Obviously, it looks like that one's just hanging there. And here, right around the corner,
Good at it.
is that said wreck from The Fugitive. Yes, that is the bus. And there is one not far from me, right across here, no more than 100 feet. That was the stunt double, I think. And look,
It is cool that it says corrections on there. That's definitely, you know, that's the bus that Richard Kimball was riding in when the fucking guard just starts wailing on him with a shotgun because somebody has the shiv. You guys remember the scene? Fabulous scene. So this is very cool. Unfortunately, our tour guide leaves something to be desired.
it's like these things have really, really been taken apart. You know what? And let's go inside. I know there's probably not a whole lot left, but it's kind of cool to think that the main character of the film, I forgot what his name was.
He forgot what his name is. You could pull Harrison Ford? I mean, maybe you can't pull Kimball, but you can't pull Harrison Ford? What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Why are we making a video? We couldn't do a modicum of fucking research? What's the interest? He forgot the name of the guy that...
That the main character of the film, I forgot what his name was. He He was also in the Men in Black series.
What?
I believe he was the one who jumped off the cliff.
He was in the Men in Black series. He's the one that jumped off the cliff? The Men in... Is he talking about Tommy Lee Jones? Tommy Lee Jones is who he's talking about? That's not who jumps out of the fucking bus. Tommy Lee Jones is the cop in The Fugitive. What the fuck? Also, is he talking about when Harrison Ford jumps out of the sewer in The Fugitive? Or is there a scene where Tommy Lee Jones jumps off of a cliff in Men in Black that I'm unaware of? Granted, I don't have as much of a file for Men in Black as I do The Fugitive. I don't think this motherfucker's ever seen this movie, which is fine, but then why are you making this video?
The main character of the film, I forgot what his name was. He was also in the Men in Black series. I believe he was the one who jumped off the cliff. Anyway, this is the alleged bus that he escaped from. And it is pretty badly damaged. Pretty cool though.
This hair decision has got to be discussed. Like, am I missing? Was there a trend where people would go with a faux hawk? First of all, when is the last time how old is this fucking video? Let me figure out how old it is. Maybe this is 10 years old. Okay, it's 2 years old. 2 years old. Faux hawk, definitely not still in style. I've never seen a fucking swooshing S, lowercase s, going across the front of the forehead to go along with the faux hawk. Is this just a desperate plea to try to make it seem like you still have hair as it retreats up the side of your head? Oh boy. I wish this man no ill will.
So, if you ask me. And like I was saying, right across from it, here is the stunt bus.
It's a bus.
It just kind of sits here to the side. Illinois Department of Corrections. Looks like somebody.
Illinois Department of Corrections. Illinois Department of Corrections. You know, the Illinois Department of Corrections. It's probably located right next to the Arkansas Department of Corrections. Right? Right? What the shit? We need to start gatekeeping YouTube. Let's see if I misheard that.
Stunt bus. It just kind of sits here to the side. Illinois Department of Corrections. Looks.
How on earth? This guy is 40, right? Like, everyone knows it's Illinois, right? Is this like the moon landing shit? Do we have to send the Artemis mission, Artemis 2, into orbit to really uncover? They weren't in orbit, right? They're in orbit around the moon. They orbited around the Earth. Do we have to send that rocket up just to uncover how many stupid motherfuckers there are out there that think that absolutely everything they see about space is fake? How many of you in the chat believe that it's Illinois? Maybe I'm giving everyone on Earth too much credit. Isn't it one of the first things that they teach you in school? That the S is silent? Oof. Illinois.
Is the stunt bus. It just kind of sits here to the side. Illinois Department of Corrections. Looks like somebody has spray painted it.
You think?
But it does look like you can go inside. Man. That bus really took a whooping. Now let's go inside. Oh.
It didn't.
I was going to say we could walk in it, but...
Show us your feet again.
There's no stairs. In fact, it looks like they've mostly gutted it. So I guess like after filming took place, I guess they really didn't have much of a need of it anymore. Let's walk around the back of it. Let's see what's in there. I really like the makeshift bars, like, you know, like the prisoners would have had.
What?
It's kind of cool how Hollywood can do such things and make it feel so real.
You know, Hollywood, they're designed to make things real for you. They're designed to make it feel so real. Unlock me! Unlock me! DC Sports Park. All right, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Our fugitive is on the run for about 90 minutes. I need all of you to do a 5-hard target search for every outhouse, hen house, cow house, about house, back house for a Mr. Dr. Richard Kimball. Is there anything better than Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive? Anything at all? I mean, maybe Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men. I'm probably going to leave it there. Maybe Tommy Lee Jones cursing out Jim Carrey in Batman Forever. Have you seen that video of Batman Forever with Jim Carrey talking about how much Tommy Lee Jones hated his guts? It's one of my favorite videos. DC Sports Mark $4.99. Thank you so much, buddy. Average foot speed over uneven ground, barring injuries, is 4 miles per hour. That gives it a radius of 6 miles. He's so excited to do. DC Sports Mark is so excited to do fugitive shtick. He's fucking vomiting out super chats before there's anything written in there for me to read. Checkpoints go up at 15 miles. Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball. Go get him. This bus just sits here on the side of the road. It's Hollywood magic, no doc. You don't know that? This is what Hollywood does. They make the impossible possible. We all know that.
Surreal, I guess you could say. Department of Corrections. Now let's go check out the trains. That's something that I really came here to see.
Yeah?
And just looking at them, they are really, really awesome. Now I would say that maybe I could climb that, but
no, you couldn't.
No, not on that end. It does look like we can get in the back though. By the way, the best way to probably see this is riding the Great Smoky Mountains Great Smoky Mountains Railway. I think that's probably the best way to actually see it.
Jesus Christ. Did you hear that groan? I mean, I know what it feels like to be overweight and washed up. Look at that pain on his face. I judge somebody that has hacking fingernails, and those fingernails have been chewed down to the bone. This is an unhappy gentleman right now. This is more exertion than he signed up for. This guy has enviable confidence. I wish I had this level of confidence. Listen, I did my hair up. I got my fleece on, quarter zip. I'm wearing a bathing suit. I got my tan slides. I'm grimacing. Every time I exert myself, I blow all the oxygen out of my fucking lungs. Kevin Smith, I like Tommy Lee Jones in U.S. Marshals as well. I could fucking watch Tommy Lee Jones play that character for 17 fucking movies. I said this. I pitched this topic. It's another thing that I think would make an enormous amount of money. By the way, Kevin, I need a screen cap. We're going to make a sticker out of this guy. This guy's going to be in the next Chad Duke Show sticker pack. This photo right here. And only you 58 motherfuckers are even going to understand it. The rest of the normies, they'll never get it. Never in a million years. All right, I'm going to give a big verbal nod to Terrence Needle. Thank you so much, Terrence, for picking up a Pacifico Pals Summer Heat Chili Lime Hot Sauce and 4 Atlantic Energy sugar-free energy drinks, our collaboration with Don't Sleep Energy. You are in the running, and right now you're the only one that's ordered, so right now you win one of these Chad Duke Show criminal fucking seatbelt dongers. You take this donger, you stick it into your seatbelt, and I believe your seatbelt gets pregnant almost immediately after that takes place. Kevin, I gave this idea away on the show 100 years ago. I know Tommy Lee Jones is about 100 years old now, but he's still acting. All you do is you take Tommy Lee Jones and Joey Pants and whoever's left of that group, and you pick a celebrity, and you have him chase that celebrity. You go from Harrison Ford to Wesley Snipes. Both those movies are fun as shit. Just pick some other people that you want to play the fugitive, and everybody gets all butt-sized. Iron Mike sleep with a fucking orange boy. Iron Mike, thank you so much, buddy. We're going to give you some naked orgy beard for that. I believe this took place in your house.
I mean, that's just what we do around here.
Oh my God! What the fuck is going on? I know you're moving just to escape that memory, brother. Tommy Lee Jones and U.S. Marshals with the legendary Wesley Snipes. Hashtag Orange Boys Mafia. Thank you, Iron Mike. The only member of the Orange Boys Mafia tonight, so that makes it even more special. Thank you. Yeah, great fucking movie. Great movie. We should do some sort of a screening for that as well. Let's check in on our friend. Oh, still having a rough go of it. All right, let's hear that grunt again. I want to hear that labored breath.
Mountains National Rail or Great Smoky Mountains Railway. I think that's probably the best way to actually see it.
I love the sex noises. I can listen to this guy fucking have self-gratification for the rest of this goddamn stream.
Mountains National Rail or Great Smoky Mountains Railway. I think that's probably the best way to actually see it. So I know what I'm doing is people have to get down a really, really steep embankment just to even get here. And honestly, it's kind of hard. This is really, really weird to look at.
Why?
And here's the other car. Not really a whole lot left. Still smashed into the ground. Epic. Okay, now let's go around here. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see what's in here. Probably not a whole lot. Other than just some old engine works. That looks just like a part of the empty engine room. Maybe they're just kind of taking some of this stuff for parts.
Who?
And reusing it for the other restoration projects.
They're
here.
not.
Let's check out the engine room. Dude, this is so cool.
It's
I mean,
okay.
I don't really want to attempt getting inside, but I think really this is the best way to show you all. Dude, this is so cool. And now I gotta go down and squeeze through here again. You know, honestly, I don't know how the camera crews got down here.
Well, I mean, no disrespect, buddy, but they're probably not morbidly obese. We can smell our own. Trust me, I relate. But I'm guessing maybe every once in a while they mix in the salad, do a little circuit training, perhaps even some of that intermittent fasting that everybody's talking so much about. I'd have to assume that's the fucking way that they are able to navigate these freight trains.
I mean, there's probably another way of going about doing it. Like for actual, to get in here. But I know as for like normal people like me, I mean, this is
there they are again.
Really the only thing you can do.
There they are again. Somehow, our buddy here has figured out a way to get his disgusting can-hammed feet on the fucking screen twice in one video, which I would have to assume was the goal the entire time. These feet people, they're cut from a different cloth. I feel like he probably went back and looked at these videos of his own feet and fucking jacked it into a ceiling fan. Man, this is where we're at. Jason from CT says, it's not a great sign for your town when Hollywood just leaves 15 tons of debris in the woods. I get it, but like, it is cool that you can go see this, especially since it's a practical effect. The bus is still right there, but wild shit that they didn't even have to clean their stuff up after they were done. We all know that Brian from Natural Red Catering, if he was taking this video, we would have seen his feet 17 to 18 times more. And it's just something that there's a group of people, and Monk is in this group. There's people out there that just think their feet are something that we all need to be involved with.
Looks like the best way in order to get to this one is just walking up this way.
Oh.
Looks like people have already done it before.
Thanks for cracking that code. Oh, shit!
Kind of interesting.
Did you fucking hear that one?
Looking up this way. Looks like people have already done it before.
Oh, man! I didn't catch that the first time I watched this. What is happening when he's doing that?
This one is just walking up this way. Looks like people have already done it before.
Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Speak the devil's name and he shall appear. No, brother. They expect one of us in the wreckage. Brian from Natural Red Catering. This is the guy that's going to be providing all the eats, goddammit. On the 25th. Those rotted and rusted steps, held and stringers from a multi-million-dollar beach house fail. Things that make no sense. Ah, yes. Yes. There was a multi-million-dollar... I shouldn't be talking too much shit. This guy hasn't fallen through a deck at any point during this fucking video. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for being in the Orange Boys Mafia. It's a very exclusive group. And the leader of the Orange Boys Mafia, as we all know, for those of you that don't know, if you send $20, your leader immediately becomes Alan.
Oh, Alan.
Oh. Good Lord.
Yep. Thank you, Brian. He's either having sex or taking a dump before he climbs into this window. I'm not sure.
To get to this one is just walking up this way. Looks like people have already done it before. Kind of interesting to see the innards from this angle.
Ew.
What it really looks like, I'm guessing this is probably maybe like where the main source of power is, I guess. We're gonna go around the other end and get in that way.
Get in it.
Okay, this will probably be the best way to see it from the other angle, or maybe even to get in the inside of it. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of crooked.
It's what Mike Vrabel said about Diana Rossini. Hi-oh! Hi-oh!
But probably not terribly unsafe. I might have to put the camera down just to get up there.
Put it on your feet.
Okay. Yeah, I had to put the camera down just to get up here. It's really wonky and sideways, but I think for the most part I'll be okay.
Kudos to this guy for fitting.
Maybe if I was skinny, I wouldn't have any issue getting in there, but
We can all relate, brother. I'm not going to judge this man for being as forethoughtful. What's the word I'm looking for? Clairvoyant? What's the word I'm looking for? Transparent. Thank you. Being as transparent as we all should be of men of girthier carriage. Yo, I got to give a big verbal nod. This is unbelievable what's going on right here. My guy, Kirk Partika. Thank you so much, Kirk, for picking up the Pacifico Palace Summer Heat Chili Lime Hot Sauce, 4 Atlantic Energy sugar-free drinks. You got the Fish Hat Summer sticker and some beautiful couch mix. You are entered in to win one of these dingy impregnators of your, what is it? Impregnators of your seatbelt. Thank you so much, buddy. And you are in the big man dance.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is going on?
I never did figure out what the fuck was going on that night. And then my guy Ty Dillinger, all the way from Altoona, PA, picked up some fish hat art. That's all for charity, brother, for the North Carolina Coastal Federation. And got himself a big Tuna Energy leg tattoo photo. This man loves photography by clearly a professional. You too are entered to win one of these goddamn things. Everybody that orders off CommonwealthDryGoods.com tonight is entered to win. Yes. I couldn't super chat my comment below. Your comment below? Speaking of feet, what are your thoughts on drab French kissing another man's feet on camera? You couldn't super chat this? I don't know what you're talking about. I thank you for the super chat, but I don't know what this means. Is this something that happened on Bo? I remember didn't he kiss Bo's feet? Bo kissed his feet. We did a Main Street Mafia sketch where Drabby and Bo did the Rex Ryan foot video. Is that what you're talking about, DC Sports Mark? I have no clue. Speaking of Orange Boys Mafia, Mary Lou Alanis, 1999. So much grunting. You ain't lying. Enormous amount of grunting going on tonight here on the show. And thank you so much, Mary Lou. Thank you for being here. Cakes gets butt-sized.
I'm butt-sized.
You know that he is. Not terribly unsafe. He sounds like a cave diver. Well, he'd be dead if he was a cave diver already. That's the only thing. So this guy has definitely got a safer hobby, even though his heart sounds like it's about to explode at any moment here.
I don't think I can get in much further in that way. Well, unfortunately, it looks like the door has been welded shut, so that's okay. The other end, that's not really safe, so I believe, you guys, we're gonna head out now.
I bet we are.
It's really cool to see this. And now time to make it back without, hopefully...
Was he fixing his hair?
We're gonna head out now.
Hold on.
It's really cool to see this. And now,
He's fixing his hair. Watch there at the very end.
that's not really safe, so I believe, you guys, we're gonna head out now. It's really cool to see this. And now
I'm telling you, he's fixing that hair. That is a designed look.
Time to make it back without, hopefully, without falling. There we go.
Look how dirty he is.
I mean, the way how this train wrecked, I mean, it is lopsided and wonky as all get out. Surprised that it's holding up this long, but then again, this train, this diesel locomotive, it probably weighs a good 70, 80 tons. It's not going anywhere, but oh goodness. I'm glad I'm okay.
We are too, sir.
Very much okay.
Establishing shots at the end.
Okay, this was a lot of fun. Although, it reminds me that I'm out of shape.
Yeah.
Or quite possibly, I'm just a little bit hungry. Anyway, guys, this is going to be another vlog for another day. It's been a fun one. A lot of fun. But
why is it another vlog for another day? What does that mean?
Anyway, remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and that y'all want to see more awesome videos. So,
I mean, we're going to have to cover this guy, right? I think we're going to have to watch more Dream Poet videos. Horse Cave Explained. No one told us this inside Onyx. No one told us this inside Onyx Cave. Yeah, I think this guy's going to have to go into the regular rotation. People that we check in on. Whew. You think it's going to be gone in a few years? It's Matt Lawson. That's not a faux hawk. That's just bedhead. I think it's on purpose, man. I think that he did that up. I think he pushes the front forward to cover the balding and then does the spike to let you know that he's still hip and with it and paying attention to the trends. Probably watches Pat McAfee. Probably orders Bert Kreischer fucking comedy CDs. Probably loves the fact that Jason Kelsey is at the Masters this week. You know, this is a man that is hip, with it, and on the scene. How many people grunt when they're hungry? I probably have been known to do it. Make sex noises when they're hungry. Well, I got to say, this has been absolutely fantastic. You guys have been a joy and a pleasure. Thank you to Terrence Needle, Kirk Partika, and Ty Dillinger for the beautiful orders. All of our super chatters, Andrew Masters, Trey Jr., Carloa Reuter, Hank Reed, Jason from CT, of course, the reason why we are here, presented this tonight. And again, I'm easily bought. You guys want me to hang out with you for a couple hours? All it usually takes is a Venmo, especially after I've had a Miller Lite or two. DC Sportsmark coming through with the beautiful super chats, and our Orange Boy Mafia, Iron Mike Sleep, Brian from Natural Red Catering, and Mary Lou Alanis. You guys are absolutely splendiferous. Am I going to see any of you motherfuckers out at the baseball game? That's what I'm talking about. Golf Dukes, that's right, Parlay Popes. I love the bro dogification. The bro dogification of fucking professional golf. Everybody should like that. Get Jason Kelsey involved with more things. That's what I say. It definitely isn't just because his brother is shagging Taylor Swift. No chance. This man being woven into the tapestry of popular culture is completely organic. Has nothing to do with that. Shady music, vanilla lyrics, mayonnaise-like complexion. Yes, yes. Jeff from Herndon with a fucking orange boy. Get out of here with that. See you Friday. Jeff, thank you so much. I think Jeff has got a box. I think Jeff bought a box at the Howlers game. Can you believe it? Holy shit. Thank you, Jeff. I will be there early, and hopefully you're meeting us at Country Smoke for lunch. We will be there at 3 o'clock if you would like to attend. And if you don't want to attend, enjoy this story regardless, free of charge.
All right, we're here at Plaza Azteca, the Outer Banks. Hey, man, this is the spot where it happened, correct?
Yep. I had some Pacificos, and I got a little bubbly.
What does that mean?
My stomach was churning, and I walked outside, and projectile vomited right next to this car here. And
Jim was loogieing over there.
Jim spat right here.
All right, well, let's reenact it real quick. So, Brian will play the role of the girl having her quinceañera.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I'm just here having my quinceañera at Plaza Azteca.